All right, welcome back to another episode of If They Won't Listen, episode 50. We're at 50, guys. We did it.
Woohoo! Five
Unfortunately,
zero.
yeah, 5-0. Unfortunately, Ricky's not here. He's got other affairs that he had to that needed his concentration or his attention. So it's Spence and I tonight.
It's a
Deal with it.
thrusting matter that he needs to
Yeah.
attend to.
Yeah. I I just got it. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Okay.
As with me is Spencer. Spencer, say what up.
What is going on, everybody? How's everyone doing on this beautiful day?
Mm.
Ooh, do we got some honey liqueur, little wine fermented honey?
Oh yeah, that is the mead that I got.
Ooh,
That's from Denmark. It is
Denmark.
it's hops with ginger.
Hops with ginger. I love ginger and I love hops.
Mm.
Ginger's so good.
It
I love
sits
how
really
rooty it gets.
it sits really well on the tongue,
Does it?
just like your
What's
mom.
oh that's cute. That's really cute. I didn't know you had to whisper that to your wine, but okay.
What were you about to ask?
I forgot because I was so enthralled with Denmark and its beautiful ginger hops wine.
Oh yeah, you know it, man. It's really good. And I know I'm doing something a little different today. It's not a style. So people who are listening, not watching it on YouTube, I'm wearing what's essentially a do-rag.
And what possessed this? Is everything okay? Did you get a haircut recently?
You're close. I'm doing a hair treatment. It's what I've been doing. I've been doing this hair treatment every week
Mm-hmm.
since January. Since the first week of January, I started doing it. So
Was
now
this like
that
a resolution to yourself?
yeah, kind of. It's a hair treatment thing that I've been doing where it's just heated up coconut oil and I just throw it into my scalp and then then eventually what I would do is I would wait a couple hours and then I would rinse it all off.
Mm-hmm.
Then lately I bought this do-rag which I originally bought for a pirate costume. But then I thought about it and had this cognition of, oh, you know what? I can use this for my hair treatment so I can sleep with the coconut oil in my
Mm-hmm.
scalp overnight. So that's what this is. So in the next morning, I just wake up, pull the bitch off, and then I go over and I rinse my hair. But now I had this do-rag, and so sometimes it's really funny, people. Spencer, you'll get a kick out of this. I know what I'm doing. I'm
Yeah.
always about 95%. So I'm always like 95% cognizant of what I'm doing when it comes to action. So I went to the grocery store, but before I went, I just threw on like shorts and then I
Yeah.
just grabbed one of my A shirts, a tank top, a wife
Yeah.
beater, if you will. I don't call them that. I think that's wrong. It's like, why would
Why
you
did you
call?
say it to begin with?
Because colloquially, that's what people know them as. No one knows them as A shirts, and no one calls them tank. And not a lot of people call them tank tops. People say white beaters. I go, that's
I think a lot of people still call it tank tops. A tops, I'll give you that.
A tops, definitely not.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of the only people that call them an A top. But anyways, I'll throw on a white
Do
A
you
top.
go like I'm wearing an A top today?
I'll go like that, bro. A top all the way.
Yeah. It's
A top all the way, baby. And then
oh,
and I just like I will always look at myself and go, wow, this is quintessential white trash right now. Especially when I have like the goatee a little bit more bushy and
yeah.
I
know
go,
you got like I see it more like a Jack Sparrow Jr.-ish kind of thing going on over here, where you're more the Buccaneer as opposed to the captain.
I am in Tampa Bay, baby. So
There you go.
Currently our football team is the champion. Who won and home in a home game.
Yes,
Which
correct.
That's historically, as far as I know, historically has never happened where a team won a Super Bowl in their home city or their hometown.
Actually, it was going on for a couple of Super Bowls in the beginning. The first 3 or 4, I think it was, and then they finally branched off. Like I know the Ice Bowl was definitely one in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So there has been a few, but after it's mandated to like have everybody like travel to different home sections, it was the first that it's been in a scenario like
Okay, fair
this.
enough. See, I don't know a lot about football history to make that call. It's just that that it was just something that I felt that okay, maybe this hasn't happened before, right?
Yeah.
But I also have this number right here. Got my salty girl shirt.
Salty girl.
You
I
know
like the
it.
Jesus fish there.
Is there a Jesus fish in there?
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of the Jesus fish.
What? Hold on.
Anytime I see a white fish, white dove,
Where?
bird, the
Oh,
bird,
so wait, yeah,
the bird,
yeah,
the bird. I meant to say,
yeah,
yeah,
right there. That's a
Yeah.
dove. That's a dove.
That's a dove.
That's a dove.
Oh, that's terrific.
I mean, it only feels appropriate that I wear a number like this because I
Mhm.
am from Florida, and especially living here in this area where there's a lot of that this kind of fishing, salt beach culture that goes on here, trucking and whatnot. So I just gotta wear my do-rag.
Can you say whatnot again?
I did whatnot.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. So what you had going on this week, man?
I went to go see the fam at the beach. Go do a little family time.
I know you sent that really sexy pic on the phone. I was like, oh man,
nice little beach photo there.
what am I gonna do with this? I'm at work.
That's kind of how I felt in the moment when I took it too.
You know, when you feel sexy, you just gotta capture it. I get it. I totally get that. I mean, I snapped a pic of myself the other day, sent it to my wife, and she messaged me back. Oh, I need this guy in my life right now. Why am I at work?
Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, so I went to do that, and after I finally got back yesterday, I've been chilling at home, just watching these films and kind of zoning out. I was like, I like. There's something about like spending so much time with family that you need that point to like digest that time and like kind of just get your me time, so you could kind of like get back into your like center chi or something like that.
I get that.
Does that make sense?
No, it really does. I had family here a couple weeks ago near the end of July, and they were at the beach, and unfortunately we got hit with red tide, and me and the wife are.
Is that biblical, or you mean literally?
Red tide?
Yeah.
Literally, the tide was red with dead
not
fish.
Biblically. Okay.
With dead fish. Right on the sand, just rotting away.
Jesus.
Oh no, he wasn't there. And,
no.
and you
know what really sucks about those situations? You can't eat them.
No, you can't, because what they die from is there's a bacterial that happens to them, so they're not even edible. So you have what you end up having on the shore or right on the beach are just various fishes, and including eels. Just dead eels. Yeah, you'll just have dead eels, baby.
Dead eels. Jeez.
Yeah. Fucking water snakes, baby.
So, like, how long does that take to actually clean up?
I don't know. I think it depends on the city. I don't know if the city tries to clean it up or they just let it sit there and let nature take its course and the gulls have at it.
Oh, man, the gulls have at it?
Oh, the gulls. I'm surprised that there's not a lot of gulls there to have at it more, or even the ospreys. But then again, that might clue you in on what they're dealing with, what's happening with those fishes, because even the birds are going, no, fuck that, I'm good.
They're like, nah,
you know what?
Bird's not getting the special.
Now, homie, I'll go somewhere else for dinner.
IHOP.
You know what, bro? I'm going to the back of the IHOP dumpster. There's way better food over there than this bullshit.
It's Syrup Sunday. I heard they got everything in stock.
It was all you can eat pancakes, International House of Pancakes, all you can eat pancakes, and no one ever eats all they can eat. They always end up eating more than they'll eat half a stack, but that's about it, and that's where it ends. It's fair game after that.
They get you. They know that.
Oh yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, you want this minute? No problem. How many did you eat? 1/3. We thought so.
Wait,
I wish they would give out a prize where they say, oh, you're going to eat the set amount of pancakes you're going to eat, but obviously have like a minimum of at least 7 or 8. All right. And then like be like, all right, if you accomplish this, you get like free IHOP for a year.
and that's the problem when you're dealing with a franchise like IHOP, man. That's the real problem.
What's the problem?
The problem is that they don't care for shit like that. They don't care for that gimmick of, oh, if you eat this, you get a prize. It's usually a smaller chain that will end up doing that.
That sucks. Just don't be cheap. Come on, just give me some free food. That's all I
ate 18
ask.
Pancakes. I think I deserve a little something.
Absolutely.
Put me
and
on
more
your
than
wall,
just
bro.
butter and syrup, because I got enough of that in me.
Had to take an insulin shot halfway through.
Oh yeah. So you ever watch F is for Family?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the Dad's Boss. He's like,
I've been eating cottage cheese, and it's just not the same, Frank. It's just not the same. So we have to go out and go. Hold on. I need a breather for a minute, Frank.
I love that. I love that show. It's so funny.
What is it, Yeah, it's David Kushner that does the voice of that character.
David.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna say David Copperfield. I was like, I don't think so.
Nah. Nah, it would have been an illusion if it was.
Oh, look at you.
You know it.
Making magic happen
there,
bud.
You know.
You're so prestige that way. My little illusionist.
Oh, just stop. Stop.
Can I say I got nothing else up my sleeve?
Yeah. You know what? See this? What? Boom. You see, they were unlinked, but then all of a sudden they were linked. They became linked.
They became one, as Spice Girls would say.
Exactly. Those girls are so philosophical. What are you drinking tonight, man?
Rosé all day, baby.
Rosé all day. That's so funny. Dude, I've never heard that before in my life. You should totally get it printed up on a shirt. That was so good. Oh,
yeah, I'd rather everybody else share the wealth.
Oh, fair enough. It's like how that one guy that created Calvin and Hobbes just lets anybody do whatever they want with his fucking character Calvin, right? Kind of like that.
Yeah, like pissing on some logos.
Yeah, he doesn't get paid for that.
No.
Circling back to this whole food thing, I did go to this restaurant not too far from where I live, and they did a buffet.
Is it IHOP?
No, it's not IHOP. It was a Middle Eastern restaurant, Persian food, I think.
Hell yeah!
Oh yeah, it's good food. If you order off the menu, great. But
Kubi Day?
No, they didn't have it. I don't think they have that.
They didn't have Kubi Day?
No, not that I saw. I have to look at that. I would have to look at that menu. They had a lot of kebab on the menu, and then some other stuff, and then they had They had baba ganoush, which baba ganoush is fantastic.
Yeah, baba ganoush is great. Did you have it warm or cold?
Oh, it was warm.
Nice.
It was warm, and I threw it in the rice and mixed that bitch up.
Yeah. You getting that little chunky too? Well, is it a little? There's some people that smooth it out, and there's some people that chunky.
The thing, their baba ganoush was definitely more creamy than anything else, which I haven't had it chunky. But this place also has a buffet, and one time a while back earlier this year, I went with the wife and some friends. We were really excited about this buffet. Like, oh, wow, great. We ended up finding out a couple of things. One is that if you don't eat all the food on your plate, they will charge you.
Good.
They go like, all right, you left like half a chicken there. And some piece of we're going to charge you. We were like, damn, we need to eat all this food. The second thing is that the buffet was like $26 per person. And I just thought that was way too much.
Well, let me ask you something. How much was displayed out there?
I can't really remember since it was earlier this year, but it was there was chicken.
You got your rice.
Rice, definitely. There was
Was
some
it like half chicken or was it chicken
chunks.
cubed?
Yeah, like they were like big chunks about that big.
Yeah, like the thighs almost.
Yeah,
right?
definitely not a thigh that.
No, but like a cube thigh.
Yeah, like
it was cute.
Definitely like the size of like at least like two to three of my fingers cubed, about the size of that. They were definitely chunky. If you threw like 3 or 4 of them on your plate, that was definitely enough, especially if you had rice. And the one thing
green stew. Do they have green stew?
No, they didn't have any green. No, not that I remember. I didn't really.
What about red stew?
They didn't have red stew either. No. But like I said,
what kind of fucking Persian place is this?
I don't know, but like I said, this is like earlier this year. I don't remember much. All I can remember is how dissatisfied I was with the buffet. I remember that the buffet didn't have a lot. I can't remember all the items, but I remember it was kind of very limited, and I just went $26 for this. No.
Yeah, no.
There was like literally there was only 2 or 3 things that I really only wanted. And it was definitely rice to chicken and something else, but I can't remember what it is at the moment. But I remember that's all I ate, and I go, for $26, I could have got what I usually get twice and called it a day.
True.
So I was pretty dissatisfied with that.
I would be too. Yeah, no, that's I'd be so pissed off. Yes,
you should be, and everyone in this world should always be upset when you go to a place that offers a buffet but doesn't give you much variety. It's not worth $26, man.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Now, other than that, the food is better the food is better when you order off of the menu.
Yeah, especially when you get some tandoori items. That's always clutch.
Yeah, it is. I wonder if did they have tandoori? The only place I know right now that has tandoori items is usually the Indian restaurants, and they mostly just do the tandoori chicken, which is always fire.
Yeah, but like sometimes they won't specify they have a tandoor, but they'll just have it in the back. It's kind of like an oven.
Yeah.
More. And but the thing is like with the kebabs and everything, you can make the kebabs of the tandoori oven. It's just fucking baller.
Oh man, that sounds so good. I just finished
anything out of tandoor with like meat on a stick in a tandoor. You can't go wrong.
It does. You're making me hungry again.
I'm getting hungry too. We should go out to dinner after this.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't know where you want to go. Do you want to meet at the In-N-Out?
We can meet at the In-N-Out. That sounds good.
Is there an In-N-Out up here? Because there's definitely not one here.
No, there's not one over here either. We gotta go out to the West Coast.
Gotta go out to the West Coast for some In-N-Out boigas.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Got the 4x4. Have some fun.
Oh man. What else is capturing the heart of
So have you been following what's going on with this whole Blizzard thing in Activision?
Here and there. I know.
Would you like to elaborate on it? Because I've only seen brief things, but I was hoping that either you or Rich would enlighten me more.
Okay, yeah, I've had this loaded up on my phone actually since when it first really got out and made news a couple weeks ago, and we never got to talk about it. But what the long and short of it, and if anyone's listening, please correct me or add to it if I'm missing any data. But there's been a series of sexual harassments that have gone either unnoticed or just ignored for a number of years, and then 20 plus people just walked out of the studio and started protesting Blizzard again. The first time Blizzard got protested or picketed was the whole Hong Kong thing.
What was the whole Hong Kong thing? Okay.
Going a little further back, about a couple of years, not even a couple of years. You could actually go as far back as 2019, early 2020, where in Hong Kong, they were doing their regionals for the card game Hearthstone. And the one player who won, when he was doing his live interview, he took off a gas mask and he chanted "Liberate Hong Kong." And Hong Kong, it's actually still in the moment, is still protesting the extradition bill, which eventually the extradition bill to China was eventually done, but there was a couple of other demands that are not met. That's why they're still protesting. And Blizzard, when this whole thing happened with this Hong Kong player, Blizzard denied him his $10,000 prize money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then have forever banned him in his account on Hearthstone and in Blizzard altogether, and then employees
for saying liberate China.
No, liberate Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, liberate Hong Kong.
Yeah. And yeah, for saying that. And there's even a deeper reason why for that, because a company that owns, I don't know how much they own of Blizzard, but they're called Tencent, TENCENT, 10 cent, like 10 cent.
Yeah.
All right. And they're a Chinese company and they're, I don't know where they're located exactly in China, but they have strong ties to the Communist Party. And they felt, a lot of people felt that Blizzard just listened to their whoever owns them and said, all right, fine, we'll ban this guy because he said that about China and you guys are offended by that.
So this investor allegedly has ties to China, is that correct? Ties
to, they have shown that they have hosted or definitely associated with the People's Communist China.
Okay.
Which is not a great thing.
Now, has there been pushback from the community of the Blizzard people, or they're like,
oh my God, there was a fallout. There was a pretty bad fallout of people who were protesting and posting things on the Blizzard subreddit. They went a little too far. You know, a lot of people, I understand you want to deactivate your account. I totally get it. But you don't need to go and burn your original copy of Diablo and Warcraft to make a point. Like they made those games before they were bought out by Tencent. You didn't have to
that's
you don't have to burn your
thing.
Diablo battle chest. I get it. You don't have to do that. That was a little unnecessary. Like you can still have them. Blizzard was a really good company at one point. So this wasn't the first time that Blizzard got protested by its employees. Now you're coming in, you flash forward almost a little over a year later, and they're being protested again. And this time it's about the sexual harassment. And now the CEO of the company stepped down, where two people are taking over, which I believe includes a woman.
Okay.
So
now, were these people previously there who are just moving up higher up in the rank, or are these outsiders coming in?
I think these were people who were moving up in the rank, but that is all the data I know. I'm going to go ahead and look it up right now, actually. Activision, you can tell everyone, you can say your one rhyme if you want while I look this up.
One fish, blue fish, go fish, yellow fish. Was that my rhyme?
That's the one. Yeah, that's like literally that's the one. That's your phrase. That's your go-to. That's where you go, man.
So fascinating. So this is really okay. So obviously Blizzard's been catching some heat through the associations of people that they know.
They lost their sponsor for Kellogg's.
Oh wow.
Who cares? It's fucking Kellogg's. If it wasn't for Kellogg, I would still have like skin on my penis.
Oh, is that information you'd like to go further into tonight?
Well, okay. So if you don't know this about Kellogg. Yeah, one of the things that he strongly pushed was circumcision. Do you know why? Not because it was clean, because he thought it was gonna it would cause pubescent males, teenage, boys, to not masturbate. He thought it would have been a great deterrent to prevent masturbation because he had strong ties to Christian beliefs and felt that masturbation was evil. Well, joke's on him.
So Kellogg suggests a lot of
fuck Kellogg.
Circumcision. Now, how did a cereal company be known for being like, yeah, we should listen to this guy about circumcision?
I don't know how strong his ties were and how his influence gone, but he was one of the main reasons why circumcision became a standard here in America. He was like he was such an advocate for it, man, just strongly advocating it.
Was he a doctor in his own right?
He was.
He was Dr. Kellogg.
He was Dr. Kellogg, baby. All right, so here's the rundown of the allegations. 20% of all Activision employees are women. Top leadership roles are filled solely by white men. This is all from Yahoo News, by the way. I'm reading like a cliff notes on Yahoo News. Across the company, women are paid less, promoted slower, and fired faster than men. HR and executives fail to take complaints of harassment seriously. Women of color, in particular, are micromanaged and overlooked for promotions. And lastly, a pervasive frat boy culture encourages behavior like cube crawls, where male employees grope and sexually harass female coworkers at their desk. I have a friend.
That's disgusting.
I have a friend who used to work in the game industry. He told me that, frat boy culture, when people refer to frat boy culture, they're referring to that toxic masculinity of where they're very entitled and can touch a woman any way they want or however. My wife just yesterday got groped. We were at a Korn Stained concert yesterday, which was awesome. It was just a great show all around. And she went to go to the bathroom before Korn came on. And she literally tells me that while she was standing in line in the bathroom, some guy ran really quick right by her, copped her ass and kept going, just paced out, just fucking booked it. So she didn't have time to even make a scene. That's how fast he moved.
Oh, man. I hope that guy gets his karma.
For real, or just never gets laid. How about that?
I mean, it's again bad karma.
There's your karma. He never gets laid. He'll never. That's the furthest he ever has to really go. And but circling back, my friend, he's soon to not be my roommate anymore. He's got other things he has to go do, and so I'm losing him as a roommate. But he did tell me that in the video game in the game development industry, it can be very, very toxic environment to work at. Not just because it's not let alone women are being harassed, but also the fact that it's how everything is done, how they overwork their employees, how they shut down ideas and just to really just focus on copying another game or creating the next franchise, right? Because everyone wants to capture that lightning in a bottle that Grand Theft Auto did, that Final Fantasy did, that Resident Evil did. That's all people.
And so on and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah, and so on and so forth. And so I'll be honest with you, when the first thing that happened with Blizzard, with the Hong Kong player, I immediately said, I haven't been playing Blizzard games in a while. I haven't touched my Blizzard account in quite a while. But that really did kind of solidify it for me, where I said, I don't think I want to support anybody that has any ties to this one oppressive company. And I go, well, I guess I'm not going to be playing Blizzard games for a while until they decide to break off. And then my friend who was still playing WoW at the time kept playing it. And then this comes out. Now he's saying he wants to deactivate his account because he goes in good conscience. He goes, I cannot be supporting a company sending him $15 a month or whatever to play World of Warcraft if this is how they're treating their employees, including the women. You're right. It's quite honestly disgusting.
So let me ask you something. With where your buddy if I correct, your buddy works in the gaming industry. Is that
he
correct?
Used to a long time ago when he used to live out west. He did. He worked at Sony, and who else did he work for? Was it Ubisoft? I can't remember, but he did a lot of QA testing. That's what he was mostly doing.
Okay, so when he saw all this stuff going on, where was the HR department?
Oh, I don't know. I would have to ask him. Maybe we should have brought him on and started talking to him a little bit about his run-ins, because he didn't really give me a full story. But he would just comment. He goes, yeah. He goes, it's a fucking shit. He would just say to me, it's a fucking shady industry, the game industry, the game development.
Wow.
He would always say, he goes, it's fucking shady. It's fucking shady over there. People always get passed over for promotions. There's always the kiss ass guy that always fucking ends up getting promoted.
But isn't that anywhere though?
It usually is anywhere.
I mean, not saying it's right or fair. I'm just saying that's the unfortunate circumstance.
It is. Let's see. So 2 weeks after the whole California lawsuit, the CEO, Brack, stepped down from his role as president of Blizzard. In his place will be general, whatever GM stands for. I would assume general manager Mike Ybarra and executive development VP Jen O'Neill. O'Neill will be the first woman in a president role since the founding company back in '79. Blah blah blah. So this is what when you hear that, it kind of sounds like damage control on their
Oh,
part.
absolutely.
It's absolutely damage control. Oh, we're gonna put a woman up in this seat. Will the company be better afterwards? Who's to say? You know, that's the time will only.
But at least in the public eye, they look a little bit better than what they did 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's always funny when someone changes their habit or their behavior when something comes out to light. A good example of that is the Michael Vick effect, where as soon as everyone found out that Michael Vick was fighting dogs, he found Jesus.
Yeah. I remember that. It was in jail he found Jesus, wasn't it?
Most of the time, people find Islam in jail, but he found Jesus.
Wow. What a piece of work that guy was.
I don't know. Obviously, I don't know Michael Vick personally. I'm not on his email list anymore, but I'm not friends with him on Facebook. I deactivated my account, but it's just usually when someone 180s like that or basically pivots, it's always because of something that just wasn't too shining the brightest of light on their situation.
Absolutely. How can I rectify this? What can I do to prevent even more damage control? And then there's some PR representative who goes, well, if you do this, and I'm sure they got a whole playbook by this stuff by now, because this has been going on more than 10 years.
They have a whole nice, good document about like 50 pages. They go, this is what you have to do. And then here's a flow chart at the beginning, just in case.
And this is the story we're going to go, and this is how it's going to probably wind up working through an algorithm.
It's written like a choose your own adventure book, right? Sorry, if you find Christianity, go to page 25.
But it's like all lawyer terms, and it's all lawyer terms. That's the amazing part. Just because they know how they could squash the lawsuits by doing this. It's nothing new. It's nothing new, but
it really isn't.
It's amazing how there's a system for this in place where they go, this is your scenario, this is the play you want to use. And then they're just like, okay. And I feel like nobody has really caught on to that this is just all play now. Like there isn't real motivation. Not saying that all places are like this, but I feel that like a majority of places or half of the places have this kind of thing going on underneath their roof. Yeah,
until someone whistleblows and says, I'm a victim of this.
Yeah.
It just goes unnoticed. It just goes unnoticed.
So hard. I think about the person who has to be the whistleblower, like all the guts that it's going to take to really expose themselves like that is so hard to do because of the backlash that's going to come from it. And they don't know how they're going to be taken care of at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
You ever see The Insider with Al Pacino and Russell Crowe?
No, never.
That whole movie is based on like something that we're talking about, like about a whistleblower, and this guy was a whistleblower for the tobacco company. He was the one who was saying that if you light up, you essentially will get cancer. And because he had this proof and everything, he let it out. And originally, when he let it out, the tobacco company was no longer supplementing him. He got off their payroll. The media kept him afloat for as long as they could until they aired his work. And then after that, they tossed him to the wayside. And then after that, he was left picking out the pieces and what he needed to do. Jeez. If you haven't seen the movie, check it out. It's a Michael Mann film. It's really great.
Oh, I do like Michael Mann. And I will say, I think one of my favorite Michael Mann movies has to be Collateral.
Collateral's a good one.
Cruz, Fox. Oh, whoever knew that they played off of each other so well in that movie. But yeah. I'll check it out. The Insider. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's alternatives to Blizzard. If people are out there and if they're listening, there are alternatives to Blizzard and you can find them. One of them happens to be one of the original founders left to start his own company called Dreamhaven, They're still looking for developers, designers, artists, what project managers to
what game is Dreamhaven currently working on?
Right now, they're not currently working on anything. They're still in the midst of building their company. So what you can call the establishment phase of a company, where they're just trying to get a whole team together, get people, get great minds, and then come up with an idea that they'll go and develop. And that's currently where they're at. So if you really are a fan of Diablo or Warcraft, I recommend following Dreamhaven until, hopefully the founder CEO of that company, who was one of the original founders of Blizzard, doesn't get outed as also being a scumbag. But, time will tell, right? And
yes. Are there any other smaller companies that you're aware of that's worth promoting, or that's probably not run by some kind of like white male chauvinistic person?
I always try not to look through the lens of like skin color. I mean, an asshole is always just going to be an asshole no matter what.
No, it's true.
But I get what you're saying. It's usually
in corporate realm. I mean, like that. Like,
it happens to always be a cisgender white male. I get it. No,
yes, and that's where I'm really coming from in that angle.
Okay,
but you're right. An asshole is an asshole, despite the color. You are right in the general terms of that.
So there is another company. Well, if you ever play this one game called Torchlight, so Torchlight is a hack and slash RPG game, which was founded by a company called Runic, that was developed by a company called Runic Games. They were another company where two of the guys who are co-founders of the Blizzard and creators of Diablo left the company to develop so they can work on other games, because let's just face it, at some point Blizzard was only just focusing on Diablo and Warcraft. They weren't really even thinking about making original games until they got to Overwatch, which was 5 years ago when that game came up. But they don't focus on making a lot of games anymore. They just focus on what makes money and just keep pumping it up. And so they made this game.
How do you feel about that?
I don't care for it. People are just, one of the things that I always liked about video games is that, I play them, and if I really like them, I would eventually go back to them and play them again. But I always want to play what's going to be, because I look at video games as they're interactive stories, right? You put yourself into the role of the hero, whoever, and you save the day, and that's always cool. And it always feels like reading a book. It just happens to be a book that comes to life. But Torchlight. Torchlight is a hack and slash game.
Mm-hmm.
I played the first one for a little bit, and I remembered I really, really, really liked it. So Runic Games, that's another company everyone should follow if you haven't, especially if you're a fan of Diablo. I thought it was way better than Diablo 3 when I first played it. It was just I thought it was a fantastic game. Oh, unfortunately, let's see. Yeah, it looks like this company defunct it, unfortunately. Runic defunct it back in 2017, I guess that was it. They had their heyday and that was it. But I thought there was a Torchlight 3. I thought there was like another Torchlight game. I must have been wrong. Could have sworn I saw it.
Maybe it was in the works.
Maybe it was in the works. Who knows? But if you guys ever get a chance, I would go and check out Torchlight 1, Torchlight 2, and play those games. I remember playing it for about a day or two, and I remember I really liked it, just not enough to stick with it. It was just not I think back then I didn't really have a lot of attention units to play lots of video games. Currently, I'm playing a lot more video games than I ever have in a while.
Why is that?
Well, I got really busy in college, and then after that, I was kind of just stepping away from video games for a while. And I remember I just couldn't put in the effort anymore to play them, and then I still have a PS3. That was the last console I got.
That's cool.
Well, actually, now currently the new console I have is a Nintendo Switch, but I got that last year, and I would say I was kind of getting on and off with video games recently, just kind of coming back to it and then just going. But I could tell you that I'm not as obsessive as I used to be, where I would just like follow the next game that was going to be coming out, or like reading about the development of a game. I don't have the attention to follow that anymore. It's like, look, I want to play a game. I want it to entertain me. I don't care about rating systems. The game just has to be playable and enough to keep my attention. That's usually how I've been operating, and it's been fun. I've actually gone back and played some of the games that have been popular over the years, like Dark Souls, Demon Souls. I played those. Those were really fun. Hard, but fun.
That's
But
always great.
I don't know, man. Maybe it was just like a phase in my life where I just said, hey, maybe I just need to walk away from these consoles for a while and walk away from PC games for a while and just, see if I can readjust my focus. And I was off. I think I stopped playing video games hardcore or on the regular. God, I think since 2010. And I don't think I got back to really playing video games again until like 2019. So it was for a while. I stopped playing video games. It's like so many things had came out over those years, and
you get swamped up in life.
Yeah,
I had a similar situation where I was playing video games since probably 92, and I didn't stop until like maybe about when I was like 25 years old. Like 25 years old at that point, I probably had an Xbox 360. Played a whole lot of fun games off of that.
right.
And then I didn't have like another like gaming because like I was like going through a divorce. I was moving into New York. I had my life was like revamping, and video games weren't going to be part of the process because like when you're living in New York, you really don't need to play much video games. So it was just like I was going out and doing things, and then it wasn't until like I don't know, maybe until like I was 31, 32, where I like got a PS4, and I was just like I got this, and like. I bought a couple of games. Like I bought the Arkham Asylum games.
Nice.
Batman.
Those are fun games.
Those are the dopest games I played. I love the first two. That third one is I'm a little wishy-washy on. But like Alien Isolation is another fun game I was playing. I was just like, oh my god, like I would play it purposely in the middle of the night and it'd scare the death out of me. But
you
like
have to.
It was. Yeah, you have to. It's like the closest way you could be scared of a horror movie again since you were a kid.
Right.
Like it gives you that kind of adrenaline, which
really
it's so good on those creators. So good on the creators with the AI technology they invented for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I only played up to a certain point, but I really need to get back to playing. I have a list of games that I have to finish, and I have them written out, and I'm just gonna get to them one by one. One of them is I'm playing the remastered version of Final Fantasy IX on my Switch. Huh?
A lot of people like Final Fantasy IX. I never play them, but I just love hearing the numbers.
Yeah. I have no interest in playing Final Fantasy Remake. I have no interest at all. None.
When you say remake, is it that they just like upgraded the digital like layout to it? No.
So
they rebooted it.
Right. So like a remaster is usually you take the original game and then you update some texture models and that's it. You don't really touch much of the mechanics or anything. You add a couple of things here and there. It's not really much.
No.
A remake would be a full-blown from the ground up. They just do everything in development, right? They recode, they like the whole new engine to work with, a whole new set of 3D models to work with, and then they add a lot more story to it. What I think my brother told me about it, he said literally the remake only covers the first disc of the game barely. And I went, what? So you're telling me that Square Enix wants me to buy the other disc as they come out? No, fuck that noise. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need to do that. That would be that. So Final Fantasy.
Well, now they're penny pinching. You on what you need to get. And I think this is part of the reason why I was turned off by like video games when I was like 25, is that I kind of realized that like I was not playing an arm and a leg, but like I'd spend at least a good $100 a month on Xbox like purchases because it would be like add-ons for this.
Mm-hmm.
Because like to me, I was a person who got a game every month, but like I would get like maybe 3 to 4 games a year. And I guess I'd play each game seasonally. And through that seasonal, I would get the add-ons, the combo packages, whatever etceteras they had to offer me, I would purchase them, right? Mm-hmm. And I would get obsessed with that. And then all of a sudden, at one point, I was just like, this isn't fun anymore. Like I remember like I would have to like unlock levels to get accessories like this, and it's no longer about unlocking, it's about purchasing.
You're right. Well, and I agree with you. That's the reason why I'm turned off by a lot of video games these days as well, with the whole, especially the whole pay to win. You know, someone paid money for that weapon, for that accessory that makes them that gives their character an edge, while you're sitting here with the water pistol trying to do damage to a guy who's got a pumped up M4 just wailing on your ass. And
it's so true. And it's so true.
Yeah. I don't care. I don't care for that model of game development. Give me
because you're not winning. You're not winning. I mean, yes, you're winning, but you're paying to play, as you said, which is perfect. I mean, there used to be a time where it involved skill. I remember the truest skill of form that I had as a kid with my other group of friends was to see who was the best at Mortal Kombat.
Right.
And like that was the skills, and you would go up against each other's. Go up against each other, and then like eventually like you found a way to finally play like the game, and you all took turns, and then it was like who was the best one to beat the harder first. Yeah, and it was always awesome and exciting to play it like that.
Your bagel bites, your pizza rolls.
Oh, the bagel bites, definitely. I remember I had bagel bites, the Nickelodeon magazine.
You had a subscription to Nickelodeon Mag? What?
I had a subscription to Nickelodeon magazine. I remember getting the issue where Val Kilmer was doing an interview for Nickelodeon magazine because he was coming off of Batman Forever.
Wow.
And the whole interview was basically about him wearing the suit and how uncomfortable it was. I don't know. I find that to be really funny to me.
I can't imagine that foam rubber is comfortable.
Not at all.
Especially when it contours to your body.
Yes.
Fucking Joel Schumacher.
We need more cornstarch in here. More cornstarch.
Fantastic. Yeah, video games to be, and not to sound curmudgeon and waving my cane, but really back in my day when you spent $45 to $60 on a game, you got the whole game.
Yeah. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And if there was unlockables, you got them because you either finished a certain level at a certain time, you've defeated a certain boss with a certain type of weapon, or you finished the game in a certain amount of time. Or you found something that was behind a wall somewhere. They were hidden. That's how unlockables were unlocked. It wasn't that, by the way,
or you would have a cheat code through operating through the controller.
If you're an asshole,
down, B6. Yeah. What do you mean if you're an asshole? Everyone did it to a certain point.
Well, yeah, okay. I only did it for the level select, just because I needed to get back to the one level that I left off at. That's the only.
Listen, I don't mind playing. You play legit. You play the game legit from beginning to end first. After that, whatever cheat codes you use after you win it legit, so be it, man. Go for it. Yeah, who cares?
In circling back to Final Fantasy IX for a second, I was telling my wife this. I go,
the disc 1?
No, I'm on disc 4. I'm literally on the last part of the game. I'm literally at the final boss of the game. But because I kind of just went through I was only playing the game just to recapture the story that I remember from 20 years ago. So that's why I'm playing it again. And I forgot to level up my characters to a certain point to actually take on the final boss. Yeah. And I remember the boss spanked me in one hit. And I looked at my level, and I think back when I was at the final boss, I was like level 56, close to 60 on some of the characters. And I go, well, that's the problem. They're way too low. They have to be at level 80 plus to fight this guy. And so now I have to like grind my characters from like mid 50s or level 60 all the way up to 85 to maybe 90 just to make sure that it's there. And I got to tell you, like, I don't miss level grinding. I don't miss it. And I hate it. And I'm doing it right now in this game. And it's a really big turn off for me because I don't care for the level grinding. I go, maybe 20 years ago when I was 15, all right, I had all the time in the world. What else was I doing? Masturbating and going to school. Literally, that's all I was doing with my life when I was 15 years old. All right. I have time to level grind on Final Fantasy 9. Now I'm just going, God, I'm just thinking like, oh my God, this is a fucking chore. And I even have in the game currently, and this is you're right, because I already finished the game legit once over 20 years ago. I was playing the game pretty legit, all legit.
Yeah.
Right? Until now, when I had to level grind, I have all my characters with this like one little cheat on activated that makes them hit at maximum. Just because I don't want to sit there for 10 minutes every battle just to get 10,000 plus experience points that doesn't even level up my characters. And I got to do that shit at least 15 more times to get them to level up. And I'm just not interested in sitting there every 10 minutes. I go, no. These battles need to be 3 minutes at least. If I can make it shorter, I would. But 3 minutes is where I'm at on this, guys.
Oh my God.
And I remember the other night, I had Star Trek playing in the background, Deep Space Nine. And I played through the entire duration of the episode. And I got one character.
How far are you into that?
I'm almost at the end of season 2. I'm about to get introduced to the Dominions.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about starting that up as my next new TV series because I just finished with Halt and Catch Fire. Yeah. By the way, if you haven't watched it, I suggest watching.
Where can I watch that? HBO Max,
Netflix.
Hulu? It's on Netflix. All right, cool.
Netflix. Yeah, Halt and Catch Fire, dude. It's like 4 seasons, but like, and they're short. They're like 12 episodes a season. But like, literally, the character arcs in that show are just like.
It sounds
enjoyable.
Good. It sounds enjoyable. Good. As someone that went through programming, I did programming when I was in college, and I really kept up with development. And so to watch a show about the startups of these software companies, was it back in the 80s, 90s this show takes place?
Yeah, it takes place from 83 to 93.
Okay.
And it's like, I don't want to overhype it because I hate when people do that, because then it's just like, you were explaining this to me. I didn't get any of that. It's like when you watch those soda commercials and they tell you how much of a great time you'll have if you drink this product. And then you're like drinking that same product in your hand as you're watching the commercial. And you're like,
I'm still waiting for the Sponta girls to come around.
Exactly. You're like, well, what's going on here? I think mine's broken over here. I don't think I have enough suds.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'll check it out. But speaking of streaming, man, I've been watching a lot of Deep Space Nine, and I will say, if you want to get into it, I recommend it. I've been watching both TNG, TOS, a little bit of TOS, but mostly TNG and Deep Space Nine, and I've been preferring DS9 over TNG a lot.
That's what I hear from a lot of people. Like, if you're going to watch one of them, that's the one.
Deep Space Nine thematically covers some really dark stuff. It's real. I talked about this before in one of our previous episodes, and it really is a dark. I'm rewatching one of the episodes right now that I kind of felt like I missed out on, but yeah, I would recommend that. But I don't know if you heard about Hulu, and Paramount Plus. They don't have the Star Trek movies anymore.
No,
because AMC Plus bought them.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they have currently they have the sole streaming rights to all the Star Trek movies, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10, which is Nemesis. Mm-hmm. And so currently they have all the rights to those movies, and they're the only ones that are going to be showing those movies. And all I can really think to myself is giving AMC Plus the middle finger like this and going, no, fuck you. I'm going to go. I'm just going to rent the movies on my own. Because
you can do that through Netflix still, you can still rent DVDs through Netflix.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I'm just saying, if you didn't know that option, that's a road. But apparently,
that you're right. I should have thought about that as an option. But really, I'm giving the finger to AMC Plus on this one because I don't want to do that. I don't want to buy into all these streaming services. It was bad enough that I was really considering getting a Paramount Plus account just so I can watch the Star Trek.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it, right?
It's not, no, because half of the stuff you can find on like Hulu.
Right.
Like that's because my girlfriend and I, we split up all those subscriptions. So if we could buy it for the year, we buy it for the year because that's always the cheapest way.
Right.
And then it's like you get one, I get one, you get one, I get one. So that way we break out even in this. And like I'll be honest with you, right now I probably spend like $45 a month. Well, not per month, but like I paid all per year. So like essentially it was $45 a month for everything.
Right.
And that's like probably like four subscriptions.
Yeah.
And like I mean like but like it's like whatever. I'll put it this way. I still enjoy cutting the cord, and anything's better than watching commercials. And you know what? I love to watch Real Monsters anytime I
want. You have a point. You have a point. I paid the $13.63, so I don't have to bother with the commercials on Hulu because all the stuff they advertise me has nothing to do with me.
No, not at all.
I'm never interested in the products. I don't have a problem with gas right now. I'm not depressed. I'm not anxious. I'm not dealing with schizophrenic depression. All these like pharmaceutical commercials, I don't care. Just take my $13 Hulu. If it gets them this.
I don't want to see this shit anymore.
Done.
I don't know who's talking about roommate. Are you talking about depression? Because it's really fucking up my algorithm over here.
Really fucking with my algorithm, man. Can you talk about like boobs and video games for a while?
We really appreciate that, the Mrs. and I. Thank you very much.
Maybe talk about cosplay. Maybe talk about some conventions. Something that will actually bring in advertisements for me that I care to watch. Not this.
You mentioned IHOP. I'd really appreciate IHOP. I want to see a commercial for unlimited pancakes.
I disabled, the funny thing is I disabled a lot of the microphone permissions on my phone.
Same here. I anytime they're like, can we give you a notification about this? Can we track you? No. The only thing that's allowed to pop up as a notification is Twitter, Letterboxd, and text messages. Done.
What's kind of funny with the whole streaming service? When you really do all the math, you end up paying more than you would have if you just got digital cable or satellite.
You're absolutely right.
It's kind of a funny thing.
But then you'd be getting a whole different set of tunes. So like you're not getting Amazon Prime. Instead of Amazon Prime, like you're getting Stars. Instead of like you're still getting HBO Max. So that's HBO Max breaks even. And then it's like you're not really getting Netflix. Like Netflix could be substituted for something else, like Showtime or whatever. Like what I'm trying to point out is that if you choose to get the box, you will get a whole amenity of movies. But then again, they're not going to be as same as what you would see if you were to cut the cord. Right.
No, I totally get that. And I'm like, honestly, where else can you watch The Mandalorian?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing is
I would either go to Target and purchase it or just get a Disney account.
And right now I got the Disney account and I get it. But the funny thing is I get it through my dad. My dad has it. And then he also has HBO Max. So I get Netflix, HBO Max, and Disney Plus from him. Right now, the only streaming service that I'm paying for is Hulu.
Okay.
Which I gave to my dad and my stepdad to have.
You all share the wealth.
And then I even told my dad, let me know if you want me to pay. I told him like, hey, if you want, just let me know and I'll send you money to pay for Disney Plus at least. Because right now, I ain't watching much Netflix. I don't know about you. Well, you just,
I go, here's the thing. It comes to a point where I'm so off and on with half of these things. It's like, what month is it? And what content do you have?
Yeah.
Because that's how I am at the moment.
Yeah.
Like television shows, I usually bounce between Netflix and like Hulu. Mm-hmm. Although I think Hulu's got the better option of TV shows, in my opinion.
Right.
But like Netflix also has a wide selection of items too.
Yeah.
They got all the Star Trek stuff. I mean, like they just put up 30 Rock. What else? But like Hulu, you could find like old school shows. Like for instance, I've caught a couple episodes of Designing Women because I love Annie Potts, who is like in Ghostbusters.
Right.
So I was just like, oh, Annie Potts is in this? Yes, like sign me
up.
And I watched it, I just like, wow, this show is like blasphemous on so many levels. But I don't care. Like, this is still like enjoyable. It's like watching Golden Girls. You're like, there's some offensive material in here, but you're like, it's the time and era, and like it's not as offensive as like, you know, some of the other stuff that you could watch today. Like for instance, there's an episode of Golden Girls where like it was I thought it was a really interesting episode about like segregation and stuff like this, because it was like Blanche, I think it was Blanche, knew this woman who was like an author, and she went to this one particular restaurant, but this one particular restaurant would not allow Jewish people in. And I was just like, hey, why?
First of all, you're in Miami.
Yeah, you're in Miami. Yeah,
where
exactly.
The population of Miami is Cuban and Jews.
All right, so again, you're losing half the population. Now you just have the Cubans coming in. I mean, like, it was like, and you know, at the end of the day, the main character, Blanche, was just like, I'm not going to stand for this. This is bullshit. Like, if this is how you're going to be and go to this type of place, then like consider me out. And like I was like, all right, that's really cool and everything, but like at the same time, I was just like, you don't get episode of the weeks like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember the last show to really do something like that was like Seventh Heaven.
Yeah, they were.
They were just like once a month, it had to do with some special episode about like something going wrong. Like they had one episode. They had one episode about like the middle son not understanding about the Holocaust or not being aware of the Holocaust yet, and sees an older woman with numbers on her arm, and he's like, "What's that, Daddy?" And they're just like, "Oh, son, why would you say such an offensive thing? Like call her out in public, essentially." And it was just like, no, it's not about calling her out in public. It was more or less like, I don't understand this. And then like we go throughout the whole episode of explaining like what this woman was as a child going through the Holocaust. And I was just like, this is an episode of the week right here, mind-boggling. It was mind-boggling me because I was so like young and fresh and wet behind the ears at like 11 or 12.
Jeez.
Did you ever watch Seventh Heaven? Do you understand what I'm talking about?
I do understand what you're talking about, but I never watched Seventh Heaven.
Too busy watching the episode where Jessica Biel's like graffiti up like a high school with the lockers in her. Oh man, that was an episode of the week.
Can't say that I have. I was mostly watching anime and watching Angry Beavers.
See,
Hey Arnold.
Did you ever watch like Batman the animated series or like Batman Beyond?
Yes.
How dope was that?
It's a great show.
Right?
They're both good shows in their own right.
I love the uniform in like Batman Beyond.
If it wasn't for Batman, the animated series, we would never have Harley Quinn.
That's exactly right. We'd never have the great combination of Kevin Conroy, Batman / Bruce Wayne, and Mark Hamill, the Joker, and the greatest like verse mode ever all times. Like to transcend from like a TV series to a video game and beyond is like unbelievable.
Yeah. Kevin Conroy, man. I know that voice.
That voice is a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Hamill. Who knew Mark Hamill could be a villain? I mean, we should have. He's part of the Skywalker family. But like, dope, man. Dope.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, Mark Hamill's Joker is just fantastic all around.
It really is.
It's really good. He pulls off the voice really well. He does the laugh really well.
The laugh is iconic.
And then I think Tara Strong did the voice of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, and she was like in her 80s at that point.
No, Tara Strong is not in her 80s. Tara Strong is currently in her 50s. She was young when she did that.
Okay, then there's another woman who did the voice of Harley Quinn in the beginning who was much older.
I think you're right. Hold on. So
I think it was. I think it ended with Sorkin as the last name. No connection to Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah, because I know that Tara Strong did the voice of Harley Quinn at some point, and I think you're right. She was probably voiced by an older woman, and then eventually she might have been replaced by Tara Strong, which I can't help.
That makes more sense.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think you might be right on this one. Hold Harley.
Am I right about the last name too?
Let's see. The Joker's Renee Montoya. Yeah, Arleen Sorkin. You're right.
Or yes.
You nailed it.
I didn't nail the Arleen, but the Sorkin, yeah.
She's retired and she is currently 65 years old.
She's 65? Okay.
Yeah, so you're still off. She wasn't 80.
Off.
You're off by a lot, buddy. Because if you do the math on that, 1965, and then whenever the show, let's say the show premiered in what, 92? I think that's when
75, 85, 95. So she was like 20 something years old, 27, 28.
Yeah, she was 27 years old when that show first premiered. Yeah, I always thought Tara Strong did the voice of Harley Quinn. I guess I wonder if she came in later. You want to know? Yeah, she did. And later in other versions.
Was it in the video game?
Yeah, she did the voice
in Arkham City.
Yep, that was her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, right?
Yep, she was the voice. Yeah.
She was a great replacement to fill in the voice of Harley Quinn. It was like, I don't think it was the most difficult thing to do in the world, but I don't think people understood like the shoes that had to be filled in for it. And because they were so easily fit into that, like nobody understood the progression of what that was. Yeah.
So
do you watch Harley Quinn's show?
I do. She's voiced by Kelly Cucco from the Big Bang Theory. And I think she does a great job on that show.
Right? I think that show is just dynamic all day, especially Poison Ivy. I love the relationship that's going on between Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be like, I want to be the plant that lives with them. Just because I want to be around the camaraderie, the banter that goes on between them and everything. And like Harley Quinn just always like having that bat to use out of nowhere for any intensive purposes is like wonderful to me. And then Poison Ivy is just like, hey, you need to be fed. Here's some bug protein. It's like, oh, I got the good stuff. I'm juicing today.
So I don't know when season 3 is coming out, but I remember in one of the last episodes, their relationship changed again. I'm excited to watch that, but yeah. So
last time I read, I think it was somewhere in this. I felt it was somewhere like in like late winter, early spring, where I read an article about like season 3 of Harley Quinn, and they were like they're working on it, and I think it's pretty much all in the can. It's just a matter of a proper release date for it.
Yeah,
which I'm interested in seeing because this is the first time they'll do it through HBO Max, where the other 2 seasons were through DC Universe. Yeah, which I remember I literally got a. What's it called? A free subscription, the 7-day trial just to binge watch all those episodes, and then I canceled it immediately. I actually bought the subscription and kept it for a year.
Wow.
But I was like,
well, there's a lot of good DC shows on it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I was like Lois and Clark. I was like, I remember watching this as a kid. Like, what was that? Like, yeah, Smallville. But like Lois and Clark, I was just like, what was this really like? And then I watched it with like an adult eyes, and I was like, oh, like this is actually cute. Like it's very cute. Like they're trying to make Lewis and Clark be like this romantic like couple that's like somewhat like got like a 40s feel to it, but like at the same time, Teri Hatcher's like a proper like female heroine as opposed to being represented as like something else,
like a damsel in distress all the time.
Exactly. Like they put it in those situations every now and again, but like they really showed off the independence of Lois Lane in that TV series.
Okay.
And I gotta admit, Teri Hatcher is like an underrated actress. Like I'm not saying she's the greatest actress of all time, but like what she does in the realm of TV, I think is more impressive than people give her recognition for.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? And let's not forget, she was a Bond woman at one point.
Which one?
Tomorrow Never Dies. That's the one with Michelle Yeoh. And Michelle Yeoh was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I watched that movie. I didn't see a tiger nor a dragon, and I figured out why.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden
Dragon. Yeah.
Anyway, Leon, I gotta suggest one thing for your little hair roots, and I mean this in all seriousness.
Say it, buddy.
Use the hot coconut oil. Take some peeled garlic. Take some turmeric. Put it in with the hot, like mince up
Yeah,
the garlic.
mince the garlic. Yeah.
Mix it and then mix up the garlic into the hot oil, into the hot coconut oil with the turmeric, and then put it in your hair. Because what you're going to do is that the garlic, the oil seep into the root, and then after that, they really create a stronger root for the hair.
Oh, interesting. Because I've been using tea tree oil and woo oil in my scalp as well.
What about castor oil?
Castor oil, no.
Try some castor oil.
Okay.
Really makes your hair nice and soft and balanced. Because you're putting so much other stuff to kind of build it up and give it some volume that it becomes a little bit like a weed tree. And you gotta like prune the weed where you gotta make it nice and soft. So if you get some castor oil, you're in business, buddy.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, cool. Anything to plug, Spencer, before we sign out?
Letterboxd Rufio 86. Come see my reviews, my everything, and check out the list of my rankings of Star Trek.
Hell yeah. And then, of course, you guys can always find me on stillfoxes.home.blog. Follow me on the twits.
This guy's got some amazing stories, so do not miss out.
Wow, guy. I love it.
I've been reading it on the beach. It's been up.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes.
Are you serious? You actually read my shit?
I forgot my book at home, and I was like, damn. And I was like, well, I know Leon's like a writer and everything. And I was like, you know what? He's been getting into my stuff. The mutual thing I could do is get into his stuff. And then I was like reading, and I was like,
which one did you read?
I was like, fairly.
The
first. Which one?
Which one did you read? The first one? What?
The first. I clicked on the first one.
Oh, okay. So what?
Wait, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know the title because I was like, I was really hungover from the night before. Hungover, all right. And I just wanted to, and I was kind of like getting myself together, and I just wanted something to read because I was trying to tune myself out from the rest of the family for a half hour, and I was like, and I remember I looked up our last episode, and I remember I had the feed and everything, and I was looking, and I was just like, okay, and then I just started reading, I was like, and I hit the first thing, and I was starting reading, and I was like, oh, I like the pacing of this. This is nice. This is actually entertaining. I'm having fun here. Yeah, let Leon know on Monday. But now I'm a day ahead.
All right.
So what better news than a day early, right?
Dig it. Thank you. I appreciate the
Absolutely. Listen, I'm sorry I cannot go into more detail about it. Like I said, I was hungover there, but I wanted something to read, and I'm gonna read something of my boy, my homie. I'm like, this guy, he's got the do-rag with the coconut oil. I gotta read this.
Yep, there you go, guys. There you go. From the mouth of the babe, stillfoxes.home.blog. Check it out.
Don't forget not to miss us on Space. This made in the Hollywood basement with Leon and I. We are going to be talking about the 4th episode of Star Trek, which is a real hit or miss with people. So we'll see. Yeah.
Not to interrupt.
Do you want to give a little sneak peek?
It's not that I want to give a sneak peek. It's just that we released that episode on a Wednesday, and then this particular episode comes out 2 days after that. So it kind of makes it so if we technically say we're gonna go watch Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier.
It's on Discovered Country, isn't it?
Whichever is the subtitle for Star Trek 5. You know what? I'm just gonna look it up right now.
I think it's on Discovered Country.
Yeah, you say that.
I could be wrong. I'm known to be wrong.
Yeah, you are.
Which is okay because it proves I'm human. I'm not Data or Vulcan.
You crazy, man. You crazy.
I'm crazy. I'm crazy because I've been hanging out with you too long.
You know it, baby. You know it, baby.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
So,
chick. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking it up right now. Star Trek. I was right. It is the Final Frontier.
It is the Final Frontier.
Yeah, the sixth one is the Undiscovered Country, and right. And so so technically,
is the fifth one directed by William Shatner?
Oh, I don't know. Let me look it up right now. I know that this other one that we watched, which is the fourth movie, that was Nimoy again in the director's seat.
Voyage Home,
The Voyage Home. But yes,
I can't wait to talk about that.
Yes, you're right. Shatner is directed the fifth one. So technically, what we need to be doing is promoting the fact that on the next time we'll be watching the fifth one because of the way the timeline works on this on the release dates.
That's a good call, Leon. And this is why we have you.
I'm the continuity consultant.
That's really good. That's it. You're the historian. You're the historian. Nobody knows more than you.
Because you want to know why?
Why?
Because I give a shit. And I'm holding up a turd a crocheted turd, so everyone knows that are just listening. I'm holding a crochet turd with some corns in it.
Oh, it's corn? I thought it was spinach.
It's corn. But this is a story for another time. I think I talked about it in another episode, but I'll mention it again another time. But yes, because I give a shit. That's why, guys. All right. So that's us. Watch out for Space. It's it's made in a Hollywood basis segments of the show, and that's us. Say goodbye, Spencer.
Rich, have a great night and have fun.
Yeah. Guys. Good show. Great show tonight, guys. Good. Yeah. Appreciate it. So later, guys.